Hey, what's up, guys? It's your buddy Wolfie P here, and I know that this review is a little bit late. I've been trying to find time to record this little intro video, but as big of a phenomenon as this movie was, not everyone has seen Infinity War yet, so do not forget the hashtag Thanos demands your silence. Don't spoil the movie for anyone. It is like the event of the summer, arguably, at least in terms of movies. So yeah, just watch this review if you've already seen the movie, and just be cool. Okay. Love you guys. Bye. Yes. Check it out. What's it all about? Come on.
Avengers.
Hey.
Avengers is what it is all about. What's up, everybody? It's your buddy WolfmanPedro.
I'm Sana.
I'm Deed.
And welcome to the newest Backseat movie review. Holy fucking shit, hold on to your butts.
Yeah, you better hold on to your butts because
Infinity War.
Alright,
Infinity War, and you guys know the drill, but for those of you who don't,
Alright,
this is
there's-
always a very spoiler-heavy review.
I already know what I'm doing with this video, like,
Ooh,
in
okay,
advance.
okay. Yes.
You guys already saw the flashing warning.
Warning.
This is a spoiler
Warning.
review. I came on camera already.
Danger, Will Robinson, danger.
I already came on camera and told you guys the review you're about to listen to is a very heavy spoiler review. I understand that Thanos demands your silence, but I'm giving you this warning now because this is the Backseat movie review that this is a spoiler review. You've already seen it in bright letters once. You saw me on camera say it.
You probably
Here
put
I
up
am.
like a Mega Man warning something.
Warning.
You know, that's actually exactly what I was gonna do.
Of course it is. You're such a Mega Man
Such a Mega
fanboy.
Man fan.
And now here I am saying it a third time now, quote unquote live.
Oh, jeez.
Live for us.
It's still going, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I ask that every time.
Yeah, it's
if you guys
going.
hear me say that literally every time, it's because the phone goes dark.
Yeah, but it's still going.
So I'm always worried.
This is a spoiler review
That's
of
on
Marvel Avengers Infinity War.
Infinity War.
Let's fucking go.
I've never
Let's-
done
So-
one of these when the sun's still out.
Yeah, right? It's weird.
Weird.
I'll do my usual. The quick recap.
Quick recap.
Quick, super quick, what it's about. It is about the Avengers fighting Thanos.
Everything
This is
that has
what
been led up to.
all of the Avengers movies, all the Marvel movies, this is what it's leading up to.
Leading
There you
up to this event. And with that being said, I will say to anyone who's kind of a casual Marvel fan, it's like, oh, I missed some of the movies, but I watched some of them.
You have to watch
This is
every.
kind of-
Oh!
Stop that. This is
That was
kind
real.
of-
I didn't mean to.
This is
Snapchat's a bitch.
a movie where it's not a standalone film, nor does it try to be, nor does it want to be. This is a film that it is the culmination of everything that has come before.
The sun is
So that being said, if you are not 100% caught up with all of the Marvel movies, basically, then
I think the only one you don't need to see
Ant-Man.
is Ant-Man. Well, and you don't need to see the standalone Black Panther. You don't need it.
You don't need it, but it would help
It's
a lot.
I don't think it would.
It's not required.
It does not help a lot.
Okay.
Because the only part that like kind of helps is at the very end of Black Panther, you see Bucky. Bucky's in Wakanda.
Yeah.
And they call him the White Wolf. And then you see him again in Infinity
Call
War.
him Geralt to review. Okay,
That'd be
well,
crazy if they did. You're just like, hold on.
That's his nickname, is the White Wolf.
I know.
No.
So yeah, all of that
Oh,
being said,
The
Ooh,
sun
that's
is.
the sun.
Yeah,
know,
right?
all of that being said, I don't know where to start without going straight into spoilers. Just the movie is fantastic, but it is a culmination of pretty much everything. It is not a standalone film,
It is not. You do need.
You have to catch up with everything.
which is normally a bad thing, but in this very particular instance, I think for probably the first time in history, it super works. It's a
Yeah.
payoff.
Yeah.
It is.
Definitely.
Well, I mean, you grow up with these films, you know?
Yeah.
I remember the first Iron Man, and I remember watching almost. I think we've seen
I know for a
every
fact I've
Marvel
seen
film
every Marvel
in
film.
theaters. So it's one of those, like, it's not just. This is gonna sound really pretentious, really, but, like, it's not just a film, you know? It's one of those, like...
People are saying that it is, like, one of the single largest cultural phenomenons in modern history, and I would kind of have to agree.
Yeah. It's just one of those, like I said, to me, it's not just a film.
It is an experience.
Yeah.
It's a payoff.
It's a payoff. It's the experience of it. It's just one of those, it's gratifying to watch, where you sit there and you're like, I have dedicated like 10 years of my life to these films to see this grandiose,
See this payoff.
almost finale.
Yeah. We are closing in on a saga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like when you watch like the last Harry Potter film. It's like when you watched the last Lord of the Rings. Like it's such a big thing. I would say it's like finishing Star Wars, but that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, no.
But that's what it feels like. It is that our journey is coming to a close, and it's like obviously Marvel's gonna keep busting out movies after this.
Yeah, apparently they have plans through like 2025 or 2028.
Like they're gonna keep going, but it's like this is our guys, and we are watching their saga close.
Get to its close. It hasn't closed yet.
Yeah.
It's like it's right there. It's like one last Avengers movie, and we are closing the book on an era, basically.
It's the end of an era.
Yeah. Whatever they have planned for the next Avengers movie, that I can almost guarantee that will be the closing of the current Marvel book. And then they're gonna open up a whole new one. That everything up from like phases 1, 2, and 3, and then I think with phase 4, which will be ending with like the next Avengers film, that'll be the closing of the book. Before they open up a new one and go, all right, what stories do we have to tell from here?
Yeah. Well, it's like, who's new? Who are we gonna use? Who are we gonna utilize?
So with that being said, I'm gonna get one thing out of the way right away, the end credits sequence. There's only one this time around, and it is at the back end of all the credits. And it is the tease for Captain Marvel.
It is. That also hurt. This movie hurts.
This movie hurts.
No matter... So... no matter... I saw this movie already, so this is my second time seeing it. I was laying on the couch the first time, just kind of processing. Veed walked in, and he was just like, "Oh, how was it?" Blah blah blah. And I like looked at him, and I was like, "It's really good." And I straight up told him, I was like, "You're not ready," because that's the thing where it's like you have your ideas of what's gonna happen, but none of them. You're not prepared for this film. You're just not.
Hits you like a shipwreck house.
Even if
the first 10 minutes.
Well, it's like even if you're a comic, like if you read comics, like my brother and I, we grew up reading comics. I made a joke to you guys know him if you guys watch our show. I call him Hot Jason. But I went to the movies with Hot Jason, and we were talking about it, and I made a joke where I was like, I was a very lonely child growing up on the playgrounds of recess, where it's like you got your comics.
Yeah.
You're immersed in this world, so it's like you know what's gonna happen, but even then you're not ready for it. You're not prepared because it has all of the aspects of the comics, but it is different.
Yeah. It is its own thing.
It's its own thing. It is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So let's just dive in. First 10 minutes, Loki dies, and that is a brutal fucking death.
That's like the gnarliest death in the film.
Yes.
Children will be like, children will be like, that's a movie that I cannot watch because of that
Children
death.
will cry watching that, just like, oh my god.
When I was at the bar with Hot Jason, we were talking about that, and he like looked over and he was like, children saw that. And that's the thing. You see it.
Like, you see Thanos choke him the fuck out.
He chokes him to death.
You see, like, Loki's eyes go all bloodshot.
His eyes are like, kind of popping out of its sockets, and he just throws his body like nothing.
And you hear a slight little... You hear a tiny snap. It's like, oh my god.
It was right after he said, you'll never be a god.
Yeah, it's like, just to finish with the choke out, he's gonna finish it by snapping his fucking neck.
And then he just on camera.
Drops him. He drops him like a fucking bag of garbage. Just, fuck this.
No resurrections.
No resurrections.
Oh.
And so that's like in the first 10 minutes.
It's like Loki dies, and then Idris Elba character dies.
Yeah.
Those...
I can never remember how to pronounce his name. Like Hemuel, something like that.
He's the one who
stabbed-
summons. He
stabbed
summons the
right in heart.
Yeah.
Bifrost.
He's a badass motherfucker.
He's amazing. A big thing, you have to have seen Thor Ragnarok
For this.
for
yeah.
this movie.
If
You
you-
have to.
If you have not
Otherwise,
seen
it's
Thor
like, what's up
Ragnarok,
with Thor? Why is his hair all short? Why is he missing an eye?
Why are they in the spaceship? Why is it all of Asgard? What?
why is it all of Asgard? Why are they in a ship? Why are they all dead?
Why are the Guardians here out of nowhere?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, no, you have to see Ragnarok for this movie to make sense, at least when it comes to Thor. Actually, you know what? All of the, like, mainline Avengers movies and, like, their solo movies, you kind of have to see.
Yes.
The Thor movies, the Iron Man movies, the Captain America movies, the Avengers movies. Those are, like, the essentials.
Anyways.
So yeah, in the first 10 minutes, Loki gets his neck fucking snapped. Like a bird, just fucking done.
But not that quick.
Not that quick. He
He
takes
suffers.
his time. He chokes him out real
Yeah, it's fun.
And the thing is, it's like, you watch it, and that's the moment where you're like, this shit's really fucking real.
good. Like, oh,
Like-
finally, stakes, threat.
Yeah, the stakes
Let's
and the threats, they're
go.
real. And it is a moment where it's just like, no matter who you like, they
No
don't
one
feel
is
safe.
no one is
they-
safe.
nobody feels safe, which sucks, obviously, because everyone has their favorite.
You know, if
Everyone.
if they didn't show Thor in the trailers, I totally would have thought Thor would have been dead at the beginning of this movie too.
Oh, I thought he was gonna die in the beginning.
Yeah, same.
But because I saw him in the trailers, who are you guys? We're the Guardians.
Right, it's like, you know that he lived. Well, but he could have easily died at the end, too.
I only
but
saw, because I didn't want like a lot spoiled for me, I only saw the first trailer that came out. And then after that, like, nothing. So I legitimately thought that Thor was gonna die.
Yeah. Should we talk about the deaths? Get them out of the way?
yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
get them right out of the way.
Okay.
So, we have... Are we gonna make him a list?
I'm gonna
I
say,
can
like, to make it
pull
real
up
easy, Phase 2 and 3 characters who you met, they're the ones who die.
Yeah, not
I
phase
thought
one.
it was gonna be like the OG Avengers that were gonna die, so that the new
So-
guys would have to step up.
If you're like me and the love of your life is T'Challa, you will be hurt.
Yeah, Black Panther, dead. Doctor Strange,
Dead.
dead. Spider-Man,
Dead.
Spider-Man is probably
Spider-Man's
the hardest one to watch.
emotionally.
Emotionally,
Like,
yes, because
physically the hardest one is Loki,
Is
'cause
Loki.
it's brutal, but emotionally the hardest is Spidey.
Spidey.
They,
So
they really pulled
when-
on those
when
Dad
you-
Stark.
they do. Dad Stark, it hurts.
Okay,
Because the
so-
thing is, it's like at the end, if you guys read the comics, you know. If you haven't, obviously this is a spoiler review, so we're gonna say it.
So-
Thanos wins. He snaps his fingers, and half of humanity
He's dead.
is
Half
gone.
of the
half of the
universe
universe
is
is gone, and part of that half happens to be the Guardians. All
Yeah,
of them
like
except
all-
Rocket
And Nebula.
and Nebula wasn't really
Nebula
ever
isn't
Guardian,
She
really
was
a
never really
Guardian.
Guardian, that's true,
but
Rocket's the only one
Rocket-
left standing from them.
from all of them. And it's like we have our original five,
So
and
I have a list of
War
everyone that
Machine.
died.
Okay, go with the list.
Here are the victims.
Yeah.
Bucky Barnes,
Winter Soldier dead.
Winter Soldier.
Falcon,
Sam, dead.
Scarlet Witch,
Dead.
Wanda,
Black Panther,
Dead.
T'Challa,
Groot,
Dead.
Star-Lord,
Dead.
Mantis,
Dead.
Drax,
Dead.
Spider-Man,
Dead.
Doctor Strange,
Dead.
Maria Hill,
Dead.
and Nick Fury.
Maria Hill. Oh, they didn't add Idris Elba's character,
Oh, yeah,
who's
Idris
dead.
Elba.
Well, no,
dead.
like
Oh, those are from the snap.
Like, yeah, that's from
Oh,
the
from
snap.
the snap.
Through these deaths are likely temporary for the MCU. There are 5 key deaths that seem fairly irreversible. Loki is crushed by Thanos,
Yeah. Dead.
while Heimdall is
Heimdall.
Heimdall, that's his name, is soon the next to go by getting stabbed in the heart.
Yep.
The
Gone.
Collector is almost certainly killed off screen when Thanos destroys his horde of curiosities.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's when
And
he gets
Vision.
the Reality Stone.
Yep.
And then the most emotional death of the film belongs to well, this is what this article says. The most emotional death of the film belongs to Gamora.
I say second most. It's
Yeah.
definitely emotional. I think Spidey hurts more.
I think Spidey hurts a lot.
Well,
she's
okay, so- but
probably
here's-
But
dead
like
for
for
good,
it's
too.
like for
It's
like
emotional. It's probably the most emotional because it's like, because Spidey is obviously like, he's a kid and we love him. It's emotional because Thanos loves Gamora.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what makes that.
That's what makes it hard, is because Thanos literally gives everything to achieve his goal. He kills Gamora. That's
In
the only
order-
way to get the Soul Stone,
Yeah.
is they need a sacrifice of the thing that you love. So he fucking just tosses her off a cliff, and
just
he's
like
a
tosses
fucking
her into a
Mufasa
fucking
style.
thing.
yeah. So
yeah,
they also didn't say Vision.
that's what I was gonna say.
Dumbass.
And then
Lastly, Lastly, Vision has the Mind Stone ripped out of his head by Thanos. Moments after we're led to believe Scarlet Witch has destroyed it herself.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's like, you, again, if you've read the comics and that...
You know Vision has to die.
Vision has to die, no matter what. Like, there's no other way for this to go. If there's no way for Thanos to achieve what he achieves without Vision dying.
Yeah.
One way or another. There's no way.
Because first off, it seems like you believe her. It's like, oh yeah, like they did it, like they got the Mind Stone. But right before that, Thanos was able to get the Time Stone from Doctor Strange. So he was able to turn back time,
knows what's up.
grab freaking Vision by the head, and then crush it so that he could just like grab that Mind Stone out of his skull.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like he just goes, "This is mine now, rip." Just rips that shit out of his fucking head.
That freaking Vision died twice.
Yeah.
Vision died twice,
He
poor guy.
dies twice. So does Drax.
And Drax, well, I don't know.
He turned him and crushed him into stone. Like,
well, also
it's a reality. Like, he comes back, obviously, but
well, then Mantis dies twice too.
Yeah.
She goes all ribbon.
Well.
The thing is, I wouldn't say Mantis dies because when she becomes a ribbon, you see her blink.
Yeah.
She's not dead as a ribbon. Drax turns into stone and breaks into a million pieces.
That's true.
I think Drax dies, comes back just to die again.
Yep. He's never able to get his revenge for his wife and daughter.
Oh, he will. We will all get revenge.
So yeah,
we're the Avengers now.
Everyone that dies in Infinity War.
And they all... So most of those... So we were discussing it, Hot Jason, my coworker Stephanie, and I, when we all went to the movies. Would you have preferred for them to die staggered out throughout the film, or how they did it?
Staggered out throughout the film.
Okay.
Staggered out.
So how they did it in the film is you have those like 5 irreversible deaths that we just said, and that's throughout the film. And literally the last like 30 minutes of the film, everybody else dies.
Yeah, Thanos snaps his fingers and wipes half of the universe. Those characters being part of that half of the universe.
Yeah. So it's just like an immediate... It's enough for you to process what's happening, but not enough to emotionally process what's happening until like during the credits, and you're like...
They're all dead.
They're all gone. Except for probably Peters. Like, Peters gives you enough time to be emotionally invested into what's happening.
God damn it. That's why I was saying the reason I would wish it was staggered is because
it would give you time to process it?
Not because it would give you time to process it, but because of my knowledge of comic books and how I know these stories play out. Those 5 I don't think are coming back.
No.
The other like 14 that go out when Thanos snaps his fingers have a possibility to come back because of comic book mumbo jumbo. Whatever that may be, and I have my ideas.
Where they're all like trapped in the gauntlet.
They're all like trapped in the gauntlet or something. Yes, we do. That there's a way for them to come back. If they were like, no, if we want to like kill off Bucky, they would have killed him off sooner before the snap. They want to make those deaths matter more. I feel like they should have been staggered, because then it's like, all right, with the snap, let's say it was just the big 3 that I think are going to be coming back. The big 3 I think are going to be coming back are Black Panther, Spidey, and Doctor Strange.
Yes.
The others, pick and choose. Scarlet Witch can come back, but I like my deaths to feel permanent, because if they can come back, then it doesn't feel like a risk. So if they had died prior, like, if they had died prior to the snap, then it would feel more real. Because then they would really have to bend over backwards to try to bring them back.
But I mean, they wouldn't have to fully bend over backwards if they're able to get the Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
So they can kind of fix it. Almost.
Yeah, but that's why I'm saying, like, I would have preferred it staggered. Because then it's like, alright, if let's say the Russo brothers have, like, an idea of, like, okay, these are the characters that, because I think they're going to, if they're like, these are the characters that we're bringing back, then cool, let the other ones have died sooner, or maybe, like, just kept a couple of them with the snap, you know? So that then the other ones, it's like when they die, you see them die, instead of, like, turn to dust.
Yeah.
Which, in the world of comic books,
if you don't see someone like bleeding and take their last breath, they are not necessarily dead.
I feel like even if you do see them bleeding and take their last breath, they're not necessarily dead. That's the problem with comics, which is what's fun about movies, is that like, for all we know, we could be totally wrong. They could all be permanently dead.
Which I would as much as I love Spider-Man,
I would love that.
I would prefer that they stay
T'Challa's
dead.
my everything.
Because they have like with the exception of Doctor Strange, they have replacements for everyone else. They have a
replacement. Well, not like a replacement for Doctor Strange, but he's got his bud.
Wong?
Yeah, Wong.
He would never be the
he's never gonna
Supreme.
No, of course not. But I'm saying that's like, we could follow him for a hot minute until somebody new. You know, it's one of those, like, it's not like there's no one there to watch with that.
Yeah, but okay, well, like, for example, Shuri, because we don't see her die, she could very well be alive, Black Panther's sister, could take the mantle of the Black Panther.
100%.
So you don't have to bring back T'Challa. We've already met Miles' uncle in Spider-Man Homecoming, so we're pretty damn well sure that Miles exists in this world. Miles Morales could be the next Spider-Man.
The thing is, it's like, even if we don't have a Doctor Strange, without the Infinity Stone, we don't need a Doctor Strange.
We don't need one
in the universe, which sucks because I love Doctor Strange.
I feel it's like,
one of those, like,
because of certain characters and stuff, I feel like they're gonna be bringing them back.
I feel like they could, but it is one of those, like, if they don't, most of them have a replacement, and the ones that don't need one.
Yeah.
Like I said, if Doctor Strange doesn't come back, he doesn't need to come back.
Yeah. Especially because, again, fucking comic book knowledge nerdum my brain. Like, when Doctor Strange becomes, like, the ultimate Sorcerer Supreme, he doesn't do much.
No.
Because he's like, I can alter reality with the snap of my fingers. Like, he sat out the events of Infinity War because he's like, it's irresponsible for me to pick a side. And
you mean Civil War?
That's what I meant to say. In Civil War, because it's like, it's irresponsible for me to take a side because I can alter reality so that side wins. For pretty much every big event, he sits back unless he really can't. Like Infinity War.
He absolutely has to, because it's like, at that point, it's a threat to the world. It's a threat to the universe, not just like
not
petty...
just to Earth.
Not just like a petty fight.
Yeah, it's not a petty argument. I mean, obviously, Civil War is much more than a petty argument.
But
comparatively...
compared to Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
well, no, I was going to say comparatively to, like, Infinity
War.
Doctor Strange, that is a petty argument compared to the fate of the universe. Like, that's the only time you're going to get Doctor Strange. And that's why I'm saying, if he doesn't come back, we don't need him to come back.
But he does say a line in the movie that makes us think he's going to come back, which is, like, he says something to... Like, throughout the whole movie, he's so adamant, like, Tony, I will let you and the boy die in order to protect the Time Stone. And then he gives Thanos the Time Stone. He's like, spare Stark's life and I will give you the stone. No tricks. And then as he's disappearing, he looks at Tony and says, like, this was the only way.
Well, and it's like, we know because he was meditating that he was saying that he's like, he saw like 14 million possibilities.
Out of 14 possibilities, like
14 million.
14 million possibilities.
There's
of
only
them
one.
Fighting Thanos, there's only one way to win. Yeah.
So he knows what's up. And that's what I'm saying, where he knows, and that's why he gave it up. Because he saw it. He's just like, I need to place my stones here and just pray that the Avengers can figure out my cryptic ass message.
And because of that, I think he's coming back, which tells me that there's a possibility for the others to come back.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm like,
there's a possibility. There's a possibility that they can all come back, and there's a possibility that none of them come back.
Yeah.
We just have to wait and see, which is exciting.
The one thing I hope they don't do is if, like, I have in my little theory is that pretty much all the people that turn to dust now exist in a weird plane, like, where it's like all time and no time, like the fucking Infinity Stone plane, if that makes sense. Where someone like Doctor Strange could totally fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi this shit to Tony Stark. And that would be fucking stupid. I hope they don't do that. But if they don't bring him back and they're like, well, we need to know this plan, that they would have Strange like fucking Obi-Wan himself.
Yeah.
He would Obi-Wan it.
But he's the only character that would be able to do that.
He's the only one that'd be able to do that. but it's still like I wouldn't want to see that because I'd be like, fucking really. So even compared to that, I would rather they find a way to bring back like at least Dr. Stephen Strange, and to be, you know, I was getting real worried. I didn't think you guys were gonna figure out what I needed. It would have helped if you told us more. I couldn't. He was standing right fucking there.
Well, he was also dying afterwards,
he
where
was
he's just
dying.
like, I'm sorry, I had 30 seconds to tell you something before I
turned into fucking dust.
So I told you the most important part. This is the only way. Like, this has to happen this way.
For us to win.
Like, we have to die for us to win. Doctor Strange knows what's up.
Yeah, so that's why I very strongly believe he's coming back.
I hope he doesn't.
I hope none of them come back, because then it feels real.
Mm-hmm. We can go on with this conversation forever if we keep saying but.
But that's what I'm saying, like, I think they are coming back, period. I think they are.
Okay.
I hope they don't. I think they are.
Like, even in every article that I've read so far that has, like, a spoiler alert, they're like, we're pretty sure they're coming back.
Yeah. Well, I think everyone has that same thought, you know?
Plus, it's a big money move. Like,
It's
we want to keep
huge...
we want to keep these actors for now.
Because I also tried to come up with the argument where it's just like, Tom Holland already spoiled that there is a trilogy for Spider-Man, and then Sana shot back with like, but is it in chronological order?
Yeah, it's
probably
like
not.
It could easily be after Homecoming. It could be
before Infinity War.
Like,
yeah. Okay, Veed, any last thoughts you want to get out?
This movie is rough. It's amazing, but it will leave you emotional. I am still emotional. I, surprisingly, did not cry once. My eyes were watery, but I did not cry. I wanted to.
Yeah. I think that the average Joe will cry.
Oh, yeah, most likely.
I was right there. I was on the verge.
Especially with Spidey.
Especially with Spidey, because, Spidey's my boy.
Alright,
again.
I will leave this conversation to you two now.
Okay, love you.
Love you too.
Bye, do your
Bye.
laundry.
It's always so stinky.
Right? He's a stinky boy. Okay, with that being said, just because we've just been talking about, like, oh my god, everyone dies.
Yes.
And we've talked about how they died. How about we talk about performances in and of themselves?
Ooh, they are all good.
Alright, here's a big question for you, because this is an Avengers movie. Everyone has their time to shine. But I have a feeling about something, and I want to know if you agree with me.
Okay.
Would you say that there's a main character to this movie? Like,
No.
there's one main star?
Besides Thanos?
Besides Thanos.
Because I really feel like this is, as much as to say that this is an Avengers movie, it feels like a Thanos movie with the Avengers, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean? Like, obviously it's heavy on Thanos, obviously.
Yeah.
But to me, nothing felt more one-sided than the other. Except for maybe Tony.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, this movie to me felt like it is an Avengers movie, but it's like, you know how at the end of the day, granted it's still in the name, like Captain America Civil War, like even though everyone's in it, it's a Captain America movie. And then it's like in Avengers and Avengers 2, no one felt like a main character. It's like, no, they're the Avengers. This is all of their movie. To me, there was something about, maybe it was just Tony's, like Robert Downey Jr.'s performance.
I think it's,
I don't know what.
We see a lot of Stark.
Yeah, it's
because
like, this felt very
if we're going to divide by time who we see a lot of, it's Thanos.
Yeah,
Stark,
Thanos stars the show.
And Gamora. We see a lot of Gamora. Even more than like the Guardians.
Yeah.
We see a lot of Gamora. We see how she works around Thanos with Nebula.
Again,
those are the big three, I would say, that it goes down to.
Yeah.
If we're gonna, it feels very much like a Tony movie when it's around, like, Earth, I would say.
Yeah, when it's around.
And then obviously
Tony.
it's Thanos. When it's fucking Thanos, it's his fucking movie, really.
Yeah.
And then it's Gamora. Even when Gamora's with Thanos, Gamora kind of takes that from Thanos. You're kind of watching more of Gamora until she dies. Until he throws her off the cliff.
Long live the Kingser. But that to me is why I was like, if you remember during the events of, I want to say it was the Avengers 2, when Scarlet Witch, when she was still bad, when she like implants like ideas in everyone's heads, or she like makes them see shit that causes them to freak out. The thing that Tony Stark saw was the death of all the Avengers, and he saw, if I remember right, you don't see like Thanos himself, but you see his throne.
I was gonna say you see Cap, and Cap's like, "You could have saved us" or something like that.
You could have.
I'm so sorry.
Damn it. And yeah, because of that, it's like this all feels like, and he has this line where he's actually talking to Thanos before they like start punching each other. Where Thanos like, or actually after the punching, before the punching continues, where Thanos he sees Iron Man. He's like, Mr. Stark, so you know who I am. You're not the only one cursed with knowledge.
Yeah.
Tony Stark. He's like, the only curse I have is having you in my head for the last 9 years.
6 years.
6 years, something like that.
Yeah.
But it's because of like all of these little bits that I was like, this movie felt very Tony heavy. Because like last time when it was like, even though it was still Captain America movie, and it was like, oh, this is totally Captain America movie with Civil War. I know, me too.
We should stop by Safeway.
I have water in my house. I have fizzy water even.
Okay.
I love the MCU Captain Americas. I've always found like comic Captain America to be like pretty boring, just because he's so fucking righteous, you know? That it's like, will you get off your fucking high horse?
The moment Captain America shows up, you kind of sit there and you're like, yeah!
I actually did that. I was like, yeah!
Oh, I love
Like,
Cap, and
Cap?
if we had this back when, if we had this, what is this podcast review?
Yeah.
Okay. Back when if we had this podcast review back during like the beginning of all of this and during like Civil War, you guys will know I am strongly, I think you are too, we are strongly on Cap's side.
Yeah, I'm Team Cap.
I am Team Cap, and this is from knowledge of, this is from the movies and comics, obviously. They all form my opinions on Cap. And
even
honestly,
though, like, you are strongly Team Cap, I'm like slightly Team Cap. I'm like in the middle with like
you're basically Spider-Man.
I'm
like
Spidey.
in between.
I understand both and I see the flaws in both, but I side. If I had to pick a side, it's Cap, and it's barely for me.
I'm pretty strongly on Cap, and honestly, like he comes with his flaws, especially in Civil War and in the comics. Like Cap has his flaws, but I feel like at the end of the day, he kind of stands for what I believe in.
Yeah.
Like all the morals that I feel as a person, I agree with him. And fucking nobody captures that as good as Chris Evans does.
Yeah, no,
Chris Evans is Captain America, just how Robert Downey Jr. is Tony Stark. Man. Like, they are those characters, and when Captain America shows up in the film, you do sit there and you're like, yeah, and he's all silhouetted, you don't like see him, but you know it's him.
Yeah, it's like you just see this dark figure, like the alien throws a spear at it, and then
he
just like
fucking catches it like a man.
And it's like, what the fuck? And he steps out of the shadows, and oh shit, there he is.
For 30 seconds, can we talk about the glorious butt shot we got of Tony Stark the very first time he puts on the suit?
You got a good butt. You got butt.
He got a bubble butt, but it's very brief. Literally like 2 seconds worth, but I'm like, because this is probably the first Marvel movie where we don't get a shirtless person.
No, I was kind of amazed by that.
I was amazed,
but
we got a butt shot.
You do get a butt shot, even though you don't have like the shirtless like look at my muscles scene. When the Guardians rescue Thor, they're like, he's like a pirate angel.
You like mated with that scene is so fucking funny.
Yeah, because Drax is just like,
you are a dude.
Gay.
He is a man. And you're like, duh. Yes, that is the closest.
And then there's like Gamora. Also, she like strokes his arm. She's like, his muscle fibers, and he's like, quit stroking his muscles.
Yeah, it's like his muscles are made of like steel fibers. And
there's Drax. I think she like says something more like, holy crap, his muscles. Like, this dude's
But she's like touching him.
And she's like touching him, and there's Drax like, his muscles are like steel fibers.
It's amazing. Gay Drax is probably my everything.
Drax is fucking funny.
He's my everything.
Drax is one of the funniest characters in this movie, actually.
Drax is, do you say is?
Yeah, he is
Drax
one of the funniest characters.
he is one of the funniest characters, I think, in the Marvel universe.
Oh, they did say everyone's in this. Ant-Man's not in this.
Ant-Man and Hawkeye are not in it.
Neither is Clint.
They have their reasons. They're basically under house arrest.
They're basically under house arrest because they took a plea deal after the events of Civil War.
What if they disappeared?
That'd be interesting.
Well, I was saying, because you know how they have families?
Yeah.
I was like, how horrible would it be if Clint's there, he's at dinner, and like his son or like his daughter and his wife, they just disappear in the middle of dinner. There's nothing that Clint can do. Even if he was there was nothing he could do.
No.
This would have happened one way or another.
Oh, he'd be back in the fight in 2 seconds.
We were talking about
he'd be a very angry Hawkeye.
When I was at the bar with Hot Jason and stuff, we took our moments. We were kind of silent. We were talking about it. We were drinking, and I like looked over, and I was just like, "Oh my god!" And they were both just like, "What?" And I was like, "Aunt May will never know." And immediately they were like, "Don't say that!" They were like, "Why are you so bad?" I'm like, "Dude, Peter died on a planet far away from home, and Aunt May will never know what happened to her boy." And that fucking breaks my heart. That's probably even. Especially if you add on how he died, how he didn't want to go. He's basically begging for his life.
I don't feel too good, Mr. Stark.
He collapses in Tony's arms, and he's like, "I don't want to go. I don't want to go."
And then
his last words are, "I'm sorry." That's how good of a boy Spidey is.
Spidey is best boy.
He is best boy. And so you add that, the emotional turmoil that you feel for Spidey, and then you think Aunt May is never gonna know, and it just adds it. This movie is basically what we said at the bar is a dull dagger stabbing in, and it is just twisted on the way down. Like it does not stop, and it's all agonizing.
So in stuff that isn't agonizing,
okay.
What I was gonna say,
Drax is amazing.
Drax was amazing. When I mentioned Captain America, because I was like, this feels like
so high.
To me, it feels,
that beard is my everything.
To me, this kind of feels like an Iron Man movie. Like this is the most involved Iron Man has been in a long time. It feels like an Iron Man movie to me, and then it's like you turn around and Captain America. I shit you not, this might just be my opinion. He is only there to be cool. He's only there to be a badass motherfucker. He only has like one Captain America line in the whole movie, and that's it's
amazing.
Yeah, it's like
when he's talking to the senator.
Yeah, when he's talking to the senator, and he's like,
"Is it a senator? I think he's
whatever he is." Like when he's talking to the
douchebag who made
government
side.
douche. Yeah, they go to Avengers headquarters. He's telling Rhodes to arrest him, and he's like, "Well, he can try, but we both know he's not going to. There's a threat coming, Mr. Senator, and we intend to fight that threat. And if you try to get in our way, we will fight you too."
Well, and I like the scene, right before that, where he's just like, "I am far beyond asking for permission."
Yeah, and I'm far beyond asking for permission.
And you're just like, "Ooh, my boy."
My boy.
My
gives
boy.
Boner.
Oh, yes, lady boners all day.
And then like
Chris Evans is so, and when he shows up with that fucking beard, you're like, ha ha ha, the vapors. Actually, and when he's standing next to T'Challa, I'm like, oh my god.
Those two have a good like 1-2 combo in the movie.
I'm gonna die.
Where it's like
T'Challa and Bucky, and you get Captain America, and I'm like, my lady boner is like through the roof. I am probably what you know as blue balls right now.
And then the only other like Captain America line is when Vision's talking about like pulling the Infinity Stone out of his head, even if it kills him. He's like, the life of one shouldn't hinder the lives of 1,000,000. And then Captain America's like, it shouldn't, but we're still not gonna make that choice. We're gonna find a way to safely get out of your head, because it shouldn't take having to kill someone to save others.
Yeah.
We're heroes. We're going to do what we can to
that
be heroes.
I think is always the line. That is the line between. Well, yes, that is his line, but that is the line between heroes and anti-heroes.
Yeah.
Anti-heroes will always cross that line. That's that one where they're just like, if I have to kill someone for the greater good, I will.
Cough, cough. Punisher, cough, cough. Venom when he becomes an anti-hero and he's not just a straight psycho.
He's not a straight psycho.
What I'm assuming we're gonna see out of Tom Hardy Venom.
Yes, I believe so. We're gonna go straight to the anti-hero part, not the villain part.
want to see that Venom eat brains.
It's not gonna happen.
It's not going to, but I'd be real happy if it did. Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, I was like, that's a different conversation for a different Backseat movie review.
Yes, in a couple months.
But yeah, it's just one of those. Cap is there to be cool. I feel like he's more. He's not there just to be cool, but he is like, so fucking cool in the
he
film.
Has those
You're like
2 Captain America lines, and then the rest of the time he's there, he's just flexing muscles and punching shit.
Oh my god, he's hot.
Like, and he's being a badass motherfucker. Same with like Scarlet Witch, Black Widow didn't really have any lines in the movie. She's just there to be a badass motherfucker.
Black Widow really isn't needed.
She really isn't, but she's there
like,
to be cool.
Cap makes sense. He's there because he's
Captain America.
He's Captain America who's homeboys with T'Challa. That's where his boy is.
Yeah, and Bucky's there.
Like, really?
Wolf of Wakanda.
That
doesn't need to be there.
Doesn't need to be there.
Although
Bruce Banner also doesn't need to be there because of the whole.
Bruce is surprisingly funny too.
I think Bruce is really funny, and like they kind of let him shine a little bit, especially in Ragnarok.
Yeah, for sure.
They let him shine, but he's always had like these little moments, itty bitty baby moments where you're just like, oh, I just want a little bit more of these little like Banner jokes, and I'm down. I like when Cherie puts him in his place. So she's like, why didn't you just do this? And he's like, I didn't think about it. And she kind of just has the look of like
these motherfuckers, they're morons.
Colonizers.
Right?
I love the fact that she calls them that. She does not say it in this movie. No. That is in Black Panther.
Yeah, that's in Black. She calls
white people colonizers, and it's amazing.
She calls fucking Bilbo. I can't think of like his character's name.
Yeah.
She calls
Everett.
Bilbo Baggins.
Right?
I think it's something like that. Something like that. She calls him colonizer. Be calm, colonizer.
But I bet you she just calls white people that.
Yeah.
Where she's like, ugh. It's like when Kelsey and I talk about tourists and we just call them sock people.
Yeah.
I think it's the same thing.
I bet T'Challa's had to pull her to the side a couple times, being like, "You can't fucking do this."
Especially now that they're open to the world.
Yeah.
He's like, "Please stop calling them."
Will you stop? They're gonna the world's gonna think we're racist.
She's like, I don't care. Shuri is really funny.
Yeah, she's
a bad bitch who don't care. She makes her jokes, and she does care, but she don't care. She's great.
I love her.
If they don't bring anyone back, if T'Challa is dead, I will be very down to see Shuri pick up as Black Panther. Yeah. Her or Nakia.
I would prefer Nakia.
I would prefer Nakia as well, but
she's not in this movie either.
She's not there, no. But if it had to be because of like blood royalty, that's kind of how they almost describe it, that it's passed down.
Yeah. Then
from kings to king to king.
It would be cool to see her become the Black Panther and be like, I'm a scientist, I'm not a fighter. So then, like, fucking General Babe, I can't think of her fucking name, Okoye, she has to, like, train her. And so then it's kind of a Wonder Woman-like movie.
But because it's Princess Shuri.
I'd be down.
I'm down.
But yeah, like, Captain America's just a badass motherfucker in this. That's
great butt. You don't really get very many booty shots. His is more of the front. Because he's such a Dorito. He's got that Dorito shape, and it's just fine. That shape does not work on many people. Like, because he has such, like, broad shoulders, but such a slim waist and whatnot. Yeah. That look really doesn't work on a lot of people. Like, Drax would look ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
If he had a Dorito shape. Quill would probably look ridiculous if he had a Dorito shape. Like, that shape just doesn't really work for a lot of people, but
for whatever reason they kept making jokes at Peter, like when they first find Thor, that's like, you're getting kind of pudgy, like
you're one sandwich away from fat. I love
Rocket
that.
says that you're one sandwich away from fat, Quill.
Rocket's brutal. He always has been, as everyone knows, but
Rocket's a dick, but it's part of why we love him.
I like that Thor calls him Rabbit throughout the film.
Yeah, the whole go do this, Rabbit. And he's not even mad about it. He's like, no, he's too cool. I can't be mad at this guy.
The thing is, he doesn't like to be called Raccoon. So I think he just prefers
He didn't like to be called Rodent.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Or Trash Panda.
Which is
also
Trash
Raccoon.
Panda's cute. Trying to think. Spidey pulls his weight in this. To only have been in like 2 other movies, and to see him like pull weight against like
he's only
Benedict.
Even in Civil War, he's not really there, but he still holds his own. In Civil War, he's a good actor. Tom Holland. I'm excited to see
he's a good Spidey. He's a good actor. And in the fight when it's Doctor Strange, Star-Lord, Spider-Man, and Iron Man all fighting Thanos, Spidey does the tactician moves a bit more, and he actually kind of for a hot minute holds his own against Thanos.
Oh yeah.
Granted,
until Thanos realizes like his pattern.
Then he's like, oh, that's always Spidey's issues, that he gets comfortable in a pattern. Like, I can fear and here and here and here. But the minute you see it's like, I might only have a second to move, but if I use that, or I might only have like a millisecond to do something, but if I do it in that millisecond, Spidey's kind of fucked.
Yeah, like I can hit Spidey.
I can hit Spidey if I'm fast enough. And then Thanos figures it out, and then he grabs him by the face, insect, and slams him on the fucking ground. I was like, oh shit, Spidey! Even I had to go like, that was fucking cool.
I like Doctor Strange when he's fighting him and he like turns into like a million Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
That part, anytime I love Doctor Strange.
And then of course there's Thanos.
Also, can we talk about the amazing, how good in character both Benedict Cumberbatch and Robert Downey Jr. are as Tony Stark, and
how they shit talk each other?
Well, they're just so perfect because it's one of those like, everyone's great, obviously, and everyone feels like their character. But the moment that you are sitting there and you're watching Tony Stark and Doctor Strange like beef it with each other, where he's just like, I don't fucking work for you, and he's like, yeah, well look how good we've done it, and he's just like, fuck you, I protect your fucking reality, douche. He calls him a douchebag.
Yeah.
And it's amazing, and it feels so much like the comics because those two don't get along.
Yeah, no, it's like when you get two big-headed, egocentric motherfuckers in a room.
They're very egocentric, and they're very big-headed. And Tony.
He even spats with fucking Star-Lord, because Star-Lord's a big-headed, egocentric motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's all about him. Although Star-Lord, it's because of Star-Lord that they're not able to beat Thanos when they're fighting him.
It literally is all Peter's fault. Or,
Peter Quill's fault.
Peter Quill's fault. I was going to say
because he gets emotional and hot-headed, and immediately everyone knows, like, oh shit, get him the fuck back. Get him away.
But nobody
can. So close. Nope.
Everyone's holding down Thanos. There's
finally a
Nebula could have stopped that.
Yeah,
Nebula was just standing there.
Nebula wasn't really needed in this movie either. She was just kind of there. Oh, she was needed as motivation for Gamora,
which led to Gamora's demise.
Which led to Gamora dying. But other than that, Nebula wasn't really needed.
She's needed to kind of show ties between family, like how strong.
Yeah.
Like how it's used as a weakness.
Yeah, because Thanos exploits that shit, no problem.
Well, and then you see it where it's like, because you sit there and you watch when Thanos throws Gamora. It's one of those, you sit there and you think about it where you're just like, the thing you love most, the person you love most, where you're just like,
you have to sacrifice the thing you love most.
That shit's impossible.
Yeah.
Unless you're a fucking psychopath.
Unless you're a psycho like Thanos. Who still, like, he cries about it, and he's like, I don't want to do this.
Even Thanos didn't want to do it.
He's like, I don't want to, but victory is too close to my grasp. I can't let a little something like love and emotion stop me.
Yeah.
And it's like, you fucking psycho.
Because I would say in most movies, it is meant to show strength, you know? Together we're strong, you know, stuff like that. But in this movie, they really show it off as that's the weakness. Mm-hmm. That's the weakness that everyone has. That's the reason why Thanos wins. Peter loves Gamora, and he can't let that go.
Nope.
He gets hot-headed.
So he starts
Gamora loves Nebula. That's why she tells Thanos where the stone is, because she doesn't want to see her sister killed. I would say
I was gonna say Tony Stark. He just wants to protect his boy Peter.
He just wants to protect.
Can't.
Like it.
I will say though, just real quick, because of that, like, love and family. That's the weakness in this film.
It's gonna be the strength
in the next one. Like,
but it's
gonna be the OG, because this is my prediction for the next movie. It's gonna be specifically the storyline. I will put it up in big letters if I can find the name of the story within Infinity War, because it's part of Infinity War, where it's left to the original Avengers. They are all that is left. And Thanos is like, I took out half the universe with the snap of my fingers. You think even though now he's kind of depowered from having to use them all at once, he's like, you think I can't fucking take all of you out? I can take each one of you out using only one stone. But he can never even if like he's able to kill 4 out of 5 Avengers, he's not able to take care of the last one ever. Like in this story, it's like, fine, I'll just go full power mode. He might be able to like smack the fuck out of everyone else, but Thor, because Thor gets scared in this, or Hulk gets scared in this movie.
Hulk doesn't show up.
He doesn't show up really, except at the very beginning, because he gets his ass handed to him by Thanos. When he finally comes back, because he and Bruce Banner finally get like an eye to eye, like this isn't about us. These are both of our friends. We have to protect them.
This is our
this is our family. This is our fight. So the Hulk comes back badder than ever. And then anytime Purple Power Gemstone Thanos tries to like box it out with Hulk, Hulk just gets angry and he thinks about his friends, and he just, you know, the madder the Hulk gets, the stronger the Hulk gets.
Yeah.
So he's not able to beat him that way. So he goes, okay, fine. I will fast forward time so that all of you die. Well, now you've just aged the Asgardian god Thor to stupid ability, because the older Asgardians get, the more powerful they get.
Yep, they get wiser and more powerful.
So he sends them to such a point where, because I think it's like, I'm going to go 1,000,000 years in the future, where you are long, dust, and forgotten.
Not Thor.
Well, not Thor. Thor is now like the strongest being in existence, that even with all 6 Infinity Stones, Thanos can't do shit about Thor.
Nope.
So then he has to rewind time. And I think they're going to go with that, where it's like, with our unity and our friendship and our love for one another, and we want to get revenge on our friends who are going to come back, I swear to God. It's going to be up to them.
Sorry, there's Hot Jason. I asked if he wanted chicken nuggets, and...
You asked if I wanted chicken nuggets?
Yeah, I asked him.
Oh.
So we were dropping Vita off, and he had to... Sorry, this is just a not Avengers thing. He had to work. He doesn't work with me, but he's kind of a call-in.
Yeah.
So he messaged me before I went into the movies, where he's like, "Hey, do you want to come in and work with me?" And we had tickets to the Avengers, so I was like, "No, I like to suffer instead." So I messaged him after the movies that I needed a hug, and then I was like, I made this joke on my Snapchat the other day where it's like, I need a hug and 20 chicken nuggets. So I asked him, since I live right next to a Wendy's, so I was like, "You want me to bring you some chicken nuggets?" Because he's at work, and like, that sucks. Where we work is not fun.
Yeah. Should be.
It's not. It's garbage. So I asked if he wanted chicken nuggets, but here we are, sitting in front of your house.
Yep.
Like,
at least 30 minutes away.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, how many miles is that?
I'm pretty far away.
Yeah. We're about 30 minutes away from my house. So if he messaged, I haven't looked at it, but if he's like, "I would love chicken nuggets," I'm gonna be like, "Bitch, where were you 30 minutes ago?"
Should have sent that shit sooner.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to the Avengers and not Hot Jason.
Is there anything else that we can touch on? Just like, the performances were amazing.
We really only touched on one. Well, I guess I talked about Benedict Cumberbatch's and Robert Downey Jr.'s chemistry, because they really embodied character. Everyone embodies their character.
Yeah,
really
everyone does their job perfectly.
Yeah, and Drax.
And I already said at the beginning, like, this is a movie where you have to see pretty much all the other.
I want to say that because we kind of get a glimpse of Teenage Groot. Teenage Groot is funny, and he's kind of a douche.
He's kind of a shipper.
He gets it so fast of just like, nope. Like, the moment he sees like Thor is dying.
Yeah, there's a moment where Thor, he has to take on the blast of a star in order to make a new weapon.
So his new weapon is made by the dwarves, and the dwarf is played. He's a giant, by the way. He's a giant dwarf. It's an oxymoron. It's great. Yeah. And it's played by fucking Peter Dinklage, and it's amazing.
Tyrion fucking Lannister.
Tyrion Lannister is all up in this, playing this dwarf, and I remember. Hi, Lily. I remember we were in the theaters, and like, I looked over, and Jason and I were like,
real quick.
Oh, hi, Pumpkin.
Yeah, hi, Sweetums.
Immediately, I was just like, Jason, because Jason and I and Steph, all three of us, are huge Game of Thrones fans. I mean, I probably wouldn't be into it if it wasn't for those two constantly begging me to watch it. But yeah, so Thor has to make the new... Peter Dinklage's character has to make the new...
weapon for Thor.
New weapon. So Thor, because the mechanic breaks or whatever, and he has to take on the full strength of a dying star to heat up metal.
It's like a full blast of that thing's like UV solar heat ray.
So he almost dies right there. That's almost the end of Thor. And Peter Dinklage's character is like, he needs the axe. He needs the axe
in order to survive. Because then he'll be able to channel his power.
Yeah, he could channel it and do this. And he's looking for the handle.
He's like, "Where's the handle?"
Nobody can find the
for the axe.
So Teenage Groot, who's like a little douchebag throughout most of the film,
he sees the two pieces of like
and
the
he
weapon.
goes and he grabs. He does his Groot thing. His roots come out. He grabs it so you can see that's like it's hot. He's like, "Fuck
it!"
that!
Like burns the shit out of him.
And he grows his arm and he chops off his own arm.
Yeah,
to
he smashes his own fucking arm off
to make the handle to give it to Thor. And then he goes and he kills a bunch of monsters in Wakanda.
Yeah, and
that scene is great when he's just like, "I'm friends with the tree." He saw Thor is talking to Steve, and he's like, "I'm friends with the tree." And so he looks over, and he's stabbed through like
3, 4, 5 fucking
5 people, and he like looks over and he lifts them up, and he's like, "I am Groot," and Steve like, "I am Steve Rogers." Like it's so good.
It's fucking cute.
Groot
it's funny.
was amazing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, everyone was fucking awesome. I can't think of a bad performance.
I don't think there really is one. Like I don't feel like anyone lacked. Everyone felt the way they should have felt, and I feel like any more time with anyone else would have felt almost wrong.
The only thing I could think of that might be like a criticism would be that this ending is cliffhanger as fuck.
Oh yeah,
but it's supposed to be like
we're supposed to get that second part.
Yeah, which it's not gonna be called Infinity War Part 2 anymore. From what I understand.
I mean, it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be because that's number one, a dumb name.
It's a dumb name, and that we've done we did the Infinity Gauntlet. That's what the storyline was, the Infinity Gauntlet. And so now we need the other storyline.
Yeah.
That's not the Infinity Gauntlet.
Do you have any predictions for the next movie before we call it a day? Like anyone like coming back from the dead or any new characters being introduced? Or...
So we're obviously going to get Captain Marvel. I don't think it's going to... Well, it might. What I want, I'm not going to say it's a prediction. I don't think it's necessarily going to happen. But what I want is I want them to start introducing, especially because they killed off so many. I don't want them to come back. So I want them to introduce new people. Like, we know that Captain Marvel's showing up. Yeah. We know that Adam Warlock, he's showing up.
Yeah, it's like he has to be there for the part 2 of this.
He has to be. Though it is weird because in the comics, he's made from a stone, kind of like Vision. But he's not
made from like the Soul Stone.
Yeah.
Kind of.
But he's not in the... That doesn't matter. Anyways, I want Nova to show up because, like I said, more than half, all of the Guardians are dead except for Groot.
Except for Groot and Rocket.
Groot's dead.
Oh, Groot is dead except for Rocket.
Except for Rocket. So I would really like to see like Nebula and Rocket, and like Nova would be cool.
Yeah, if they could introduce Nova, that'd be rad.
Especially because that planet
is gone.
Is gone. He destroyed it to get the stone.
It's not even like I killed half the humanity.
No, he destroyed it.
He's straight up like Death Starred that fucking place.
You don't see it, but they talk about it.
Yeah, he says that he straight up Death Starred it.
So that would be cool to see, kind of like Nova, because I mean that's Nova Corp. Like Nova's from there.
So to see like
the
one last surviving member of Nova Corps to be like Nova.
I would like that. So I'm excited to see the new people they bring up.
Yeah, but that's why. There anyone in particular? Like just.
I would say that. I guess like I'm gonna call them the quote unquote new Guardians, because obviously I don't know if they're gonna be the new Guardians, this and that. But in my head, that's kind of the setup I want, where it's like Rocket, Nova, Adam Warlock, Nebula's there. I would like to see that. I basically just want to see these new characters. Like if Shuri takes up mantle of Black Panther, I want to see that. I want to see if there's kind of like a Miles. Like instead of Peter, we have Miles.
Like if Miles Morales comes into play. So,
stuff like that. That's what I want to see. Like we don't have...
Because technically Miles is better than Peter. He has all of his powers... plus a couple more.
Yeah. So it's just one of those I want to see. Like I said, I'm not doing any predictions because I don't know. I think we're going to follow that storyline of we're going to get individual fights with Thanos with the original 5.
Yeah.
We're going to get Tony versus Thanos. We're going to get Thor versus Thanos and Cap versus Thanos.
So then when he sees he can't beat, he straight up cannot beat them, and then when they all fight together, and then they dunk on him.
If I'm gonna make a prediction, that's what that is. I think we're gonna see these individual fights and how they grow as people and how they're strong and their friendship is everything. And
they wouldn't be there if it wasn't for each other.
Yes.
So they'll probably lose the first half of the movie, and then they come together, and then it's like No, like each one of us cover each other's weaknesses.
Exactly.
And we build up each other's strengths.
But if there's things that I want to see, it's that. I want to see these newer characters in play.
Which I would love to see Miles. I would love to... Like, out of new characters, I think we're likely to get... I think Nova is an unannounced character that we're likely to get, because we've been teased Adam Warlock. We've been teased now Captain Marvel, and we know...
Who else have we been teased that haven't shown up?
The only other one I can think of is Adam Warlock. And he was only teased once, and we don't have like any info on when he would show up.
Adam Warlock is definitely one of those characters where if you don't know the comics, you don't know who that is.
Yeah, you have no fucking idea.
I remember we left the movie theater, and I was like, what?
It was like,
And even I was talking about that because, again, I saw this movie earlier. So when I was with Jason and Steph, I was talking about that, and I was saying that's basically what I was telling them, where I'm like, they're going to do these like new Avengers, they're going to do new Guardians, this and that. And I was like, it's got to be like Adam Warlock. And they're like, who? And I was like, it's got to be Nova. Like, okay. Who's Nova? And I was like, it's got to be, and they're just like sitting there like,
who are these people?
Rewind. Tell me just the basics, because you can go off for days.
Yeah.
Just the basics. So that's what I think. That's my prediction, and that's what I want to see happen.
You know what else I want to see happen in the next one? And this is just like me fanning. I want to see him bring in the Netflix crew.
Oh, the Defenders?
I want to see the Defenders.
The Defenders would be dope.
While like the Avengers are like up on the moon or something, like fighting Thanos, the Defenders are taking care of the street shit. Like they're the ones fighting the aliens and whatnot on the streets.
I would be down for that. I'd be way down for that.
Especially if it's like, let's say throughout the events of the movie, the characters who we think are going to come back do come back. So then it's like we get 2/3 of Team Red. It's like there's Spidey and there's Daredevil, and then there's.
Don't even tease me with such a thing. Team Red is my everything.
I want to see. I want to see the Defenders, and assuming that they bring back the characters, like let's say halfway through the movie that I think they're gonna bring back. It's like them and the Defenders are taking care of the street level shit.
Fresh fries if it's not too late. Sorry, I just read the snap.
And the Avengers are gonna be up doing their shit. You know, they're gonna be taking on the big bad while the Defenders and everyone else fight the shit down low. Is that gonna happen? Probably not. That's what I want to have happen. But with that, yeah, just everything about this movie was fucking great. If you're a fan of Marvel, I don't know what else to say. It's awesome.
Sorry, I was messaging Jason. It's so good. I highly recommend it. Obviously, I'm hoping that at this point you guys have seen it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if we just rambled and we talked about all the spoilers, this and that, you're not going to get the same experience. So you could break this up in any way that you want, but I'm going to say it again. Do not watch this. I mean, it's already at the end, but it's like, or if you wanted to spoil it for yourself, whatever. But don't show this to people who really want to see it, because I feel like
Thanos demands your silence.
He demands it. And I think that it's one of those, this is a movie where you have to experience it.
Yeah.
You have to just go in not knowing anything about anyone.
Don't know who lives, who dies, what the consequences are.
Really do this roller coaster of emotions, because that's what this movie is. It really takes you
roller
on this
coaster of emotions.
Wild ride. But I guess we're going to go into the house. We're going to record some. We're going to call this an episode.
Yep. It's been the longest one in a while.
Go to the bank. Okay, anyways, that's real life shit. As always, I'm Sana.
And I'm your buddy WolfmanPedro.
And this has been another Backseat movie review. We hope you guys like it. If there's like a specific, because we do this obviously like with what we want to see. If there's a specific movie that you guys want to see, like,
or that you want us to talk about,
yeah, like want us to talk about, breakdown or whatever, let us know, because that would be kind of cool. Like, even if it's a movie that we both don't want to see, but if you guys are like, I want to know your thoughts, even if it's a shitty movie, a great movie, whatever, that would be kind of fun. Oh, Lenny's saying hi.
Yeah.
So we're leaving now. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Remember, Thanos demands your silence.